I kind of wanted to just like a 2-minute overview of what it is.
Okay.
And then we can kind of go in a little bit more depth.
Sure. Okay, so the main premise of Liquid Mining app is the following. Anybody who has even the latest or little to none experience in mining can get into the application and start mining from day one. The beauty of it is that through the analytics department that we have built and through the KYC system that we integrated within the application and outside of it, we go through a vigorous process, of testing and verifying what kind of coins to add to the application for the people available to start mining. What do? We check on the developers and their past projects, who they are, what they're doing, what's the roadmap of the project. We check whether they've been in any scam projects, we check if they've been doing and what there is information in the press, so we do kind of social media listening, if you will. And we go and meet these guys directly. The issue with them is that you cannot, like any standard person, any of your ordinary Joe cannot get their hands on them because they are always in close communities, they're in close chats, you can get to them. That's the beauty with us, is we know how to reach those guys, we know what to talk to them about, and we know how to check whether they're saying what they're actually presenting. So number one, like I said, we check with the developers, the blockchain developers, of who they are, what they do, and what their project. Then we also start getting into the application on our side of things. We see how the coin is mined, we see what the tokenomics, we see where it's going, and in the roadmap, the most important thing, we see when they are planning to do listing or whether they're planning to do listing at all. Why do we need to do this? Well, everything available in the application coin-wise is for the community to get in there at the pre-mine stage. Mm-hmm. When there is no set price for the coin, everybody's still thinking, okay, this is a really cool project, it's servicing us in a certain way, it's bringing something new to the market. It could be even a market disruptor in a sense, but it still has not hit listing. So you start to mine the coin with the easy-to-use application. You build your community around it. You can buy rigs, you can buy racks, you can buy containers. Each step gives you a certain boost or a certain bonus, if you will, like a decreased electricity cost, an increased, a decreased durability rate, so your rigs do not break down quicker. And well, as it is in real life, you need to change your equipment, you need to maintain it. And an increased hash rate, so if you believe in a coin, you can mine it at a much quicker rate, so you get a much more reward per block. And then once you have that portfolio built, because in the application you can switch from coin to coin very quickly, just like this. You just click on another coin, that's it, you're already mining a different one. You build the portfolio on the basis of the information that we offer. So we give the information about the website of the developer and the coin, we give the information on the social media, we find the feedback from the different medias around the world, what they are, what they do. Some negative, some positive, mostly positive because obviously they've gone through the vigorous process of our analytics. And once you build a portfolio, you hold the tokens until the listing stage. Once the coins hit listing stage, there is a set price for that. And the beauty of the community joining the coin at a certain period is that the developers, well, they are developers, they're tech nerds. They don't know how to package their project. They don't know how to get miners on board. We offering through, after we analyze them, everybody in the DAISY community at this point, because this is right now only exclusive to DAISY, to get onto this coin is to help those coins grow, because the more miners engage, the more miners engage, the more there is, the more miners, the complexity grows for the coin. Once it hits the listing stage, then there is a set price, the price starts growing because even more communities, even more miners start to get into the project. So the basic premise is this: pre-mine stage, hold until listing, make profit on listing. So that's the basic premise. We're going to be introducing 3 coins each month down the line. In about 3 months' time, we're going to be introducing ASIC mining for BTC coin mining. So the platform will offer more and more options for you to build on your portfolio and to really kind of do your own risk management. That's another thing with the crypto market. You never know what's going to happen to a project, even if you've done all of your homework as much as you can. But with the multi-mining strategy that we employed before at Atom Mining, we realized that within the application, you can do the same. Get some of that coin, get some of this coin, calculate your risk reward, understand where some project, maybe you just don't feel it. Maybe for some project there's a lot of information, it sounds cool, but you just don't feel like this is something for you. But on the other hand, there are some projects that's really delivering something different to the market, and you think, I know about this. This is something that's going to change life for somebody. This is something that's going to change market in a certain way. You get into that coin, you build your portfolio on different ones. At the end, after the listing hits, you see your risk reward. And then you understand, do I need to change my strategy? Do I need to add other coins, or should I stick only with this coin? So in a nutshell, that's what we're offering. Easy to market access, quick switching between the coins to build your portfolio, and an opportunity to make a profit once the coins hit the listing stage.
So my first question would be, by definition, DAISY is attracting the non-sophisticated person in this arena, right?
Essentially, I would say yes, but again, in addition to attracting non-sophisticated users, you educating and you creating new miners.
Sure.
You're building the market as it is with the huge community that you have.
So I guess that takes me to the rest of the question, which is, we're in DAISY and not trading sophisticated, they're not mining sophisticated. So my two questions are, first of all, the user interface needs to be really simple for us to use. Now, I haven't been in and looked around yet, so I'm assuming that you're addressing that. And secondly, the choice of which coin to go for, that requires some basic knowledge. Is there, now obviously you can't push certain coins, obviously you're doing the research in certain coins, but what is there available for us as I say, non-sophisticated people?
Sure.
To first of all use the application, and secondly, pick the right coins and think, I don't like this coin, maybe I want to try this one.
Right. Okay, so when we were in development, especially the final stages, we had two choices. We can really kind of go into packaging and marketing and educational things and all of this, or really concentrate on software development to release the product that is best used for everybody. So we decided to go down the second road. But we're faced now with an issue that, as you said, we need to educate the people. So what we're doing now, at the beginning of March, we're going to have two big Zooms. Number one is going to be just with the leaders, where we go through each step of the application, how to use it, what to do with it, when give an example of entry and exit on certain coins, and how you can basically make your life a little bit better with this application. The second Zoom will be for the entire community, which will really follow down the same path. What to do with it, where to click, what does it give you, what kind of bonuses you get from it, what is durability, what is energy, how to top it up, when to use it, when to switch it off, and so on and so on and so on. In addition to that, we have Telegram chats and groups, we have Discord, we have Twitter, and we are focusing on educating the community on a day-to-day basis. So what we're doing in there, we're releasing educational videos, again, giving you a step-by-step breakdown. Or we're releasing FAQs, or we're showing the white paper. Later down the line, we're going to be breaking down the videos by segments in the application that people have a certain question. For example, I bought a GPU, I bought a rig, I installed it, what do I do next? We explain exactly step by step. So we're basically teaching a kid to drive a car who hasn't even learned how to walk.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to address, and this is what we will be doing after everything, all these two conferences are finished. We're going to be really jumping in to help the community understand exactly the way to go about it and what are your options within the application.
So do we know the dates and times for those calls yet, or is that going to be put out?
That's going to be put out through the DAISY community main communication channels like Telegram, and what Jeremy, Edward, and Ilya have within their trees as well. But we believe it's going to be the first dates of March, so not on the first one, or not on the first, because we're probably going to be on a plane back.
Of course.
But
you are allowed to sleep and rest.
Yeah, just a little bit, just a little bit. But in like March 4th, we will announce it, and it'll be somewhere between a bit before March 10th. But don't hold me to that.
No.
It's all to do with the Jeremy's availability, with Edward's availability, and Ilya's. Me and Dima will be on a call. Dima, the CEO of our company. I will be helping with the translation, and we can have the communication there and back at any point during those Zooms.
Question, and then we got like some of yours, if you wouldn't mind repeating some of those as well, some of your concerns you had with them earlier. So I guess just a quick overview of there's the four main products, right? Could you give a very, very quick difference between the CPU, the rig, et cetera, the number of coins we can be mining at any one time, why we should pick this one as opposed to this one?
Okay, so if we're breaking it down in the basic terms, the CPUs, the GPUs, and whatever.
Okay.
A GPU is the main, let's say, accessory within the rig that's bringing all the hash power. But like a head cannot live without the body, the GPU cannot live without a rig. The rig has all the additional accessories installed for the GPU to work at its maximum capacity. So a CPU is kind of, let's say, the heart, but the GPU is the brains and the body of everything. So when you buy a GPU, you need to buy a rig, and once you install these GPUs, that's when your hash rate starts to grow, and that makes the GPUs work. I mean, that's just in a very, very simple words.
Okay.
The second question you had about...
Well, it was really, go ahead.
So just adding on to Richard's question, I mean, folks have been asking, what should I do? Should I buy should I buy the CPUs? Can I buy a number of CPUs, and then later on, should I get a rig? So those are the sort of questions that we need to understand in terms of, from a practicality perspective, and getting the best for people who cannot necessarily just buy the container straight up. But are wanting to build up. What is the best strategy that you would give?
Okay, I mean, I would, for any beginners, I would also always recommend to go with called a starter pack. Yeah, that's a GPU. You get a GPU, you know the hash rate for that GPU, and you look at each coin, what that hash delivers in terms of coins rewarded for each block mined. So you can start with the GPU, you start with the rig, which is 25 bucks, you start with the GPU, which is 900 bucks. So the entrance level, I would say, is more or less affordable given the overall mining market in the world. And with that, that's the simplest way to get into mining and understand what you get for coins and how it works. However, each time you build a full rig, each time you put a rig in a rack, and each time you put 4 racks in a container, you get bonuses. These bonuses represent...
That's what I was trying to...
These bonuses represent a lower durability, so there's a lower breakdown of the NFT in terms of, like you would have a normal GPU in real life, it still has some sort of a limit to its life. It cannot work forever. And its productivity falls down, same as here. We represent that to the real GPU, is that the durability on the NFT breaks down, and you can see this in the application, it's very, very clear. You can boost to get a higher hash rate to mine a certain coin that you like, but then again, the durability would drain quicker, and then you would need to buy a new GPU. That's number one. The second thing with durability, not durability, the electricity. Once you start building the racks and the containers, your electricity price goes down. So again, you're mining, you increase the hash rate, you're mining more coin, but your electricity cost is going down. So risk reward, it becomes a little unbalanced in your favor. So you're kind of spending less, making more, in a sense. So I would suggest for any, let's say, any people worried about their budget in like a starter pack going in who cannot buy a container, as you said, start with the GPU in a rack, see how it works on different coins, because switching is just like this to different coins. Read about the coins, understand what you're feeling for, and then continue to grow your portfolio. Simple as that.
So I have a money question, real quick money question. ROI. At the end of the day, we're in this not just to play games. We want to make money.
Of course.
So return on investment. You talked about a year to get that back, and then. But what about what you think the opportunity could be? Worst and best case scenario.
Okay. Obviously, with mining, it's not a simple investment. It's more. Again, it's a lot of it. It's based on what you decide to do with your portfolio. But in order to make things a little easier, or let's say to help the community, because we're all here to make a better life for ourselves, we are going to be introducing additional projects into this application that we are building ourselves. So for example, we are going to be introducing blockchain sport that we talked a little bit about during the presentation, and I'll give you an understanding what it is, because this is just, I mean, I love this. I've been in sport for a long time, and I think this is what's going to help a lot of people. We have football academies in Cote d'Ivoire, and we have a football academy in Fortaleza, Brazil. Plus, we manage a football team in Europe. Everything that's been done with NFTs and crypto in sports has always been top level. You go to Manchester United, you go to Arsenal, you go to big fighters or whatever, and they're very not flexible in terms of the management, in terms of the development, in terms of what they want to offer to the community back. When you help the little guy, when you do the grassroots development for the person that would never see the light of the big stage just because he doesn't have an opportunity, he doesn't have money, he doesn't have time, he doesn't know where to go, you will always have only the best, only the biggest, I would not say the best, competing at top level, and nobody from the bottom down can get into really kind of controlling, or at least wanting to control from a fan perspective of what they can do with these guys. So what we've done is this. Given these two academies, we create a funnel. We invite a lot of kids in these areas that do not have an opportunity to pay even for a kid to come and join the academy, to play for the academy, and moreover, we're already in partnership with the former Brazilian national team players. We're already in partnership with a lot of football scouts from Europe that have flown to Brazil, that have flown to Cote d'Ivoire to check out on these kids. What they've said to us, even from the kids that we have now training in these teams, there's already 10 of them that's going to be superstars. So what we're offering the community with this Layer 2 token is this. We will digitalize an NFT of each of these players, and you as a fan or the community can buy the token, or coin rather, invest in that NFT and wait for that player to grow. There are 3 certain stages. When this player is just playing there on the street, and our scout came and let's say he looked at them and he's like, okay, this kid has a potential. His price is about 500 bucks. You pay 500 bucks to the family to sign a contract with the academy, you give him a kit, you give him housing, you give him food, you give him training, he starts to grow. Then after he played in the academy, a local team notices him, again for the scouts that we're working with. The team is saying, okay, I like this kid, I want to sign him, 5-10,000. Sure, done deal, which seems like a good profit already. At any of this point and any of these stages, the holder of the coin can say, okay, I want to sell my NFT, I want to burn my NFT, sell the coins, and he or she gets an equity in the sale of that player between the clubs. Okay. But this is where the beauty comes in. The local club will sell on to the European club that we always manage, let's say for 200, 300,000 for that player. Again, that's another step that you can take to burn the NFT and to take out your equity in the sale of the skid. Well, sale of the skid doesn't sound right.
We know what you mean. We know what you mean.
Yeah, all the skills. Yeah. Once that kid is in this European club, again, by the Manchester Uniteds, by the Arsenals, by the Cities, and all the other big teams that want to take on contract. And if you believe in the kid and you follow the whole story from rags to riches, you can hold that coin until he hits the big stage, and that's where you can make a profit. So we're really killing 2 birds with 1 stone. We're helping the kids that will never get noticed and really grow to a point where they're superstars. And the second is, of course, the community who believes in them and can make a profit growing together. I mean, imagine the fan engagement you get from this.
Oh, yeah.
Usually it's only about, okay, I'm watching somebody, I make a bet on somebody, because nobody watches sport for the sport's sake. Everybody watches a sport for personalities. Be it UFC, be it football, be it hockey, everybody knows a certain person that they want to follow. And whatever team that person goes to, the fans will follow. And that's the same idea here. It's like more than just watching a sport, it's like living the life from rags to riches with this guy or with this. Another interesting thing, I say guy, there's always also girls involved because.
Thank you.
There are? Really? There are?
Yeah.
You're commoditizing their skill. You're packaging an opportunity for people to own an equity in the development of this person and their advancement in the sport.
Exactly.
That's exactly what you're doing. Yeah.
Plus, the holders of coins will also have an opportunity to make decisions through voting within the academies and the clubs before they go to big stages, because in big stages, obviously, they're very unflexible. But at the beginning, you can choose what kind of uniform they wear, what kind of strategy they employ, what kind of trainers you can hire for them. It's like you are completely there. You're completely within it.
And also, as they go through the training, the kids who are moving from like a stage 1 where they're starting, when they get all of the certifications and they go to the club level, they're obviously worth more because now they've gone through all the training, right?
Exactly.
Huh?
How do you address? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So it sounds like that totally levels the playing field for these kids, just like DAISY, like we talk about DAISY leveling the playing field for all of us. So it gives them an opportunity to compete where they otherwise wouldn't. We, as NFT holders, will back them and support them.
Exactly.
And so we can all be part of their success.
Exactly. That's exactly
Yes.
right.
Yes.
And I'll tell you more. We are starting on a blockchain sport with layer 2 coin in football. We're going to be doing, and we already have agreements with UFC and boxing promotions, ice hockey, cricket in India, tennis. We will grow this as a huge ecosystem. And this coin will be available in the app with each of the sport that we will be introducing. So before it hits listing and given the idea that we have, I mean, imagine the capitalization it will have when it goes to the exchange. In addition to that, with sports, we also understand that it's not just the business that we're talking about here. Imagine the content flow and the interest from documentary side, from TV series side. One of the projects we're also considering, I have a friend here who's working on a boxing project. He has the same idea of growing boxers like Barry Hearn used to do in UK with the prize fighter system. I mean, I'm not saying we're doing the same, but it's kind of similar on a larger scale. They do different regions where fighters that would never been noticed before can join and go through this ladder and do a final bout here, like in Dubai or Abu Dhabi, and really get to see the light, because nobody will ever notice them. I mean, this is one of the things that we're trying to deliver, and this is why we got really good feedback from the national players in the Brazilian team and the former national player in the Brazilian team who manages the academy in Fortaleza, is that you guys, I mean, we do not ask them of any money. We don't need money from them, from these players. All we want is just support of the project. And they're saying, nobody is doing what, I mean, I've got hair standing up on the back of my head. It's like nobody's doing what you guys are doing in terms of the kids that are living not the best lives, some of them. I thought he was calling me because same name. It's like the kids that are not living the best lives, and we are giving them this chance to really live the best life, to give their parents what they want to give them, to buy the house for the dads and moms, to buy themselves something, to give back to the community. I mean, I'm sure some of these kids will come back and start building their own academies, start giving back. I mean, look at the African football players that have made it to the English Premier Leagues. Yep. They come back and they start doing the same. But we are here to join more, to put more people into this huge, let's say, I don't know, this huge gates of opportunity for the kids. And all of these coins on all of these sports will be in the app.
Did anybody have any more questions?
Listen, the GPUs.
Yeah.
When you buy the GPU, it mines one coin, and you have to decide which coin it is, and it will mine that coin for its lifetime, let's say.
Well, if you, let's say you clicked on a coin, and tomorrow you wake up in the morning, drink coffee, like, okay, I don't want this coin anymore, I want the other one. You just click on the other one, it's done, you're already mining the other one.
For GPU, like just the $900 unit, because it's in the presentation, it looked like that one is one coin only, that you can't switch it.
You cannot switch the rack.
Okay.
And you cannot, basically in order to stop mining, you need a rack and a GPU. Okay. So in the rack, if you have one GPU, you're already mining your coin. I mean, even if you add all six, that rack, that rig, sorry, not rack. Yeah. Part of my mistake. That rig is mining only one coin. Okay. But you need in the rig at least one GPU to start doing it.
Okay. But you can, it's the same logic. You can switch also with just one GPU in the rig whenever you want.
Yeah,
okay, because we thought that if you have one, you have to select one, and that one is the one that you've signed up for.
You have
I think that's where people are not. We didn't get that you have to get a GPU and a rig. People are like, oh, I can afford a rig. I'm just going to buy a rig. So that's what we need to understand. That
in order to
the technicality, people need to understand that link between the two.
In order for the car to go, it needs petrol.
I like the heart and the head.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Stay with the heart and the head. Don't go to the car.
Yeah, I mean, your body can walk, but it doesn't know where it's going. So the GPU is your head, basically. So the rack is there to give the ecosystem for the GPUs, but the GPU is what produces the hash rate.
Yeah, gotcha.
Can I?
And the container has everything in it, or
so this is how it works. You have a rig, then you have racks. In a rack, there is 4 rigs you can put inside.
Yeah.
The container has 4 racks that you can put inside.
So just times 4.
So do you still have to get the GPUs for each of the
each rig? No.
Yeah.
You have to buy, when you buy a rig, there's a maximum of 6 GPUs that you add.
Yeah.
So each before you add a rig to the rack, it has to be a full rig. So it has to have. You cannot have 4 rigs with 1 GPU in each. So it doesn't make sense because you would not get the bonuses.
Exactly.
I mean, you can put them in there. You can put them in there with one, but you wouldn't get the bonuses it delivers, like the lower durability and lower electricity.
So I think what we need to do is we also need to develop a strategy for people to know how to build up.
Yeah, sure.
That's what's missing here. I think what's been happening with the community right now, I'm looking at myself. We're like, okay, I've got 4,800. I've got 4,800. I'm buying the GPU, but I don't understand. Oh, I need to also, you know what I mean? So
if you buy that one, you don't need anything else.
What?
If you buy the 4,500 one, you don't need to buy anything else. It's only the $900 one if you want to buy it. Then you need to also buy the system
rig
where it fits in. And then you can add the second one, and you can add the third one, and you can go all the way up to 6.
So if I'm at 40, so if I'm at 40 at the 800, I'm just good. I can just keep on buying those. Is that what you're saying?
That's a full rig. That's a full rig. Now a full rig is done. That's it. When you bought it for the 4,800, you have all 6 GPUs in there. That's it. That's a full rig.
Okay.
When you buy just 1 GPU, which is just 1 graphics card, you need to buy a rig to install, like you will in real life.
Okay.
Because in real life, you buy a graphics card, it's just sitting there. I mean, you need to place it somewhere.
Got you. Okay.
So
It's basically the housing for it.
More than one
I got
coin
it.
at a time.
When you have the rig is installed with 1 coin at that particular time. But like I said, switching is as easy as this.
Gotcha.
But only 1 rig mines 1 coin.
So if you want to mine multiple coins, you have more than 1 rig.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Simple
Or
stuff.
keep switching.
I'll keep switching, yeah.
Daily,
two you like.
in your daily routine in the morning,
People are gonna have to we're gonna have to go through a lot of learning of when to switch, how to switch, what to look for.
Do you
All
know,
of those
switching
things.
is very easy. I mean,
It's
like,
easy, but like
actually.
yeah. So for example,
the education to switch to the side.
Hold on a second. So for example, you go here, choose rig. That's it. You can just choose it, install. That's it. You're mining this coin. You want to go here, choose rig. It's done.
Yeah. Okay.
Simple
Very
as that.
Okay. But if you want to have, if there are 2 coins you like, you got to have them.
Yeah,
running
you're gonna
at
have
the
2
same time.
rigs. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Very good.
one other question, because I know a lot of people will be asking. We all thought we will be mining Bitcoin, and we only heard about that change now, which is okay. But the Bitcoin is coming, but it will not be on these same rigs, right?
Yes.
It will be a different rig, so we will be buying a different rig if we want to mine Bitcoin.
The algorithm for mining, there's 2 algorithms. There's ASIC mining and there's GPU mining. So there's 2 different, let's say, pathways in the world to mine 2 different algorithms. In order to mine Bitcoin, you need ASIC miners. And ASIC miners as rigs will be introduced in 3 months' time. So you will get that opportunity, just not at the initial launch stage.
And will they be still liquid immersion so that they will have the longer durability and the really efficient electricity like we originally were planning, or is now this a different setup?
I know there was an announcement that they're gonna have a liquid cooling system, but they're gonna. I mean, to be honest with you, the cooling system doesn't really matter in terms of efficiency, whether it's going to be liquid cooling or it's going to be air cooled. So they're still going to be as efficient as we show in the GPU miners, but in terms of the actual technical specs of what bonuses you get and what hash and everything, please wait another maybe a week or so and we'll release some information about that. But it will definitely be within the market limits as we have in the app, because there is no sense of buying something that goes beyond the market in the app when you can just buy it yourself, or like from a shop or from these kind of conferences.
And the Bitcoins ones are the ASIC miners.
ASIC miners, yeah.
And we touched briefly earlier, and I think it would be good to have it recorded on the portfolios. Like, people don't know which coin to go for. One strategy is, of course, go for the same one as everybody else because it's probably safe and good. But of course, you're getting less because everybody wants it. But then I don't know who is getting it. And the other strategy is, of course, I want to be the black sheep and I want to be completely different to everybody else, and I want to have the one that I'm getting the most of. You said you will be, first of all, in the application, you just explain that part, please.
Okay, so we're also going to be integrating the DAISY tree within the application, so you guys can get your friends or people that are below your tree, or within your tree rather, not below, it doesn't sound too good, in your tree.
We know what you mean.
Yeah. In your tree, to add them as friends in your application, and you will see what everybody is mining that you have added as a friend. What does that give you? First of all, it gives you a knowledge of what people are doing with their portfolios. That's number one. For example, you see that everybody is in one particular coin. And maybe, like Yeva said correctly, it's either a good thing to get into that because everybody's there, or maybe like, okay, maybe I'm gonna go the other way. I've got these other options. These two coins are kind of similar in the services, what they're offering to the market when they are released. But I want to try something different. I want to try a different strategy. So this is a really cool opportunity, especially at the beginning. Once we've educated you how to take an educated approach to the coins you're choosing, how once you know your way around in the application, then you're also looking at your friends who are mining what. That's number one. You want to take the same approach, you want to take a different one, and obviously you can make an educated decision on the risk-reward strategy to build your portfolio. Like I said, the beauty of switching a coin at a second gives you that opportunity to build a portfolio that you believe is the best for the reward stage when everything hits listing. So I hope that answered the question.
It did. Thank you very much. And can we also touch on the graffiti aspect so that we all know that it's ours?
Okay. So there's two things that really kind of differs our application from everything that's been released in the market before. Number one, all cloud mining applications before required a purchase of a particular token. To get into, basically you buy this token, for it you get a hash, and then you get a GPU in return, like a lot of steps, but the main premise is to buy a token. As you can see in the application, we do not require to buy any tokens to get into mining from day one. This really kind of differs us from everybody, because why we decided, well, first of all, we didn't even think about it, but when we started analyzing this, we saw that a lot of these projects scam. When they asked for the tokens in return for the hash, they took the tokens and just run away with the money. We decided, okay, this is not right, this is not transparent. You actually get what you see. You see a GPU, you see a rig, that's exactly what you get. To go further and to confirm to the people, and we had these questions actually yesterday from the DAISY community, from Brand and from Susan. They're like, okay, so guys, do you actually have the rigs? Do you actually have the physical data centers? We showed them the video and we said, okay, maybe this is not as convincing as you want to be. What we're going to do is kind of cool. We employed graffiti artists to go on into our data centers and to use liquid mining branding and how do you say it in English, the wording. And we're going to graffiti the walls, the ceilings, everything. So you will see that this is exactly the equipment that we are using to provide the hash within the application.
Very good. Any other? Go ahead.
For when I purchase my rig, I will have my own blockchain, if you will, my own or NFT, whatever it is, so that I know that rig is my rig.
Yeah.
Or are we just kind of all pooling together for everything? When I pay my $4,800, what that means, is that mine?
Yes, of course, of
and
course.
how will I know that?
That's a good question. I think I need to ask somebody from the tech team to explain the whole flow from the wallet to everything.
Okay.
Слушай, вопрос такой. Если вот купила дама риг за 4800, она говорит, я вот майню эти монеты, как я буду знать, что это мои монеты? Потому что они в кошелек падают или как?
Ну да, то есть это будет заметно, это будет в приложении видно по кошельку, плюс, естественно, на бэк-офисе у нас внутри приложения, естественно, привязано все к конкретному пользователю. И настраивая минимальную или максимальную выплату, как только достигается этот результат, значение,
я понял.
Оно будет отправляться уже на конкретный кошелек, который уже создан в системе, которая именно к монете привязана.
First of all, it goes straight to your wallet, which obviously nobody can get into. That's number one. And second of all, on the back office, on the back end, we will на бэк-офисе, как еще?
В базе, внутри приложения.
Можно будет это привязать, типа...
Ну, то есть мы, естественно, это все отслеживаем, естественно, привязано все, и все это регулируется маркет-программой.
And on the back office, the application actually ties all these coins only to your account. Since your account is linked to Tron Link, there is no way that, these coins will not be yours.
Okay, thank you.
Regarding that, hash rate together and we're actually receiving the coins like equally divided, or is it I buy this specific rig and then the hash power and the, let's say, success rate of that particular rig is actually my reward, and mine could be, let's say, extremely different to Richard's, even though we are mining exactly the same coin?
Okay, so like we explained in the presentation, before the coin is known, or at least is a lot of miners are connected, there is certain reward block. There's certain reward per block of mining. So your hash rate that you bought for your rig that is collected to your Tron wallet represents what you get from that block once you mine. So basically the hash rate that you purchased represents how much coin you will get from that block of the reward that the blockchain provides. So it's it represents only your reward. So in order to get more reward from the block, you need to expand the hash rate.
But there are also coins there that have already been listed. How does it work with those then?
When they are listed, it's just more miners are connected. And well, basically it's easy as this. The more miners are connected to the blockchain, the lower the reward per miner.
Yeah.
So once they're listed and you already know the price, you get connected. It's just you will get a lower reward, and that's the beauty of doing it pre-mine. That's it.
So that's the difference between then Bitcoin mining, which is asset mining, where actually your GPU needs to be the one that has that block or code or whatever that actually gets rewarded. Bitcoin here it's equally divided amongst.
Yeah, in BTC, if I'm not mistaken, it's the proof of work and transaction.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so it's a different thing.
Yeah.
Okay. When we buy the NFT, can we? I don't know, I have a problem tomorrow with something, I need my 4,500 back. Can I sell it on like on open market, like a normal NFT or not?
Like I said, right now it's a month of exclusivity for the DAISY community because it's in beta in order to get feedback from you guys, which we will reward you for as well down the line. Once we hit the mass market stage, and right now they are being only available through the liquid mining website. Once we hit the mass market stage, you will be able to sell these NFTs, for example, on Wonderplace, one of the NFT marketplaces that we are launching. That's number one. But it's important to remember that the price of the NFT will go down in correlation to the durability that it has trained.
Like mileage on a car, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But still, if you need the money, you can get something for it.
Easy.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask you about the marketplace that is going to be used.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're also going to be engaging in other marketplaces, but I mean the one we have built, it's a multi-chain marketplace and has 6 main chains already connected. So you will definitely find a buyer for your NFT.
one more thing about the tokens we talked about before. You can take a different strategy, which one you want to mine. Can we actually see what the hash rate, like how many tokens you are getting if I decide to mine one or the other or the third? Like which one is, in terms of number, giving you the most? Is that seen somewhere or not?
I think in the application, if you open it up, each coin shows you the hash it requires. Yeah, and that represents how many coins you get per day, or like per second or per block or whatever.
Okay, thank you. I think I've exhausted my pool of questions. Anyone else?
Well, I just kind of wanted to summarize really what's going on, because for the people... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So I've got a few questions. I think one of the question is actually with regards to, because I actually did analysis on the different coins. Like I already set up my own rig and stuff.
Okay.
So I've realized that those listed coins already, if I actually, based on most of the rigs, they actually have a 2 years durability.
Yeah.
Is that average?
Yeah.
So those listed coins, if I look at the current price and then I multiply by the estimation of how much mining today, it's currently it won't hit break even yet for the listed coins.
It's not what, sorry?
It won't hit break even because technically the cost of what we're going to pay, 900 for, let's say, the GPU, and then 25 for the installation for the coins. If we assume that the coins currently are the price of it and the price is not to go up over the next 2 years, then as of now it's actually operating below cost, right? Meaning that it's making a loss based on that. So
the listed coins.
Yeah, the listed coins. Yeah. So because I understand that in the mining kind of capability, it's always based on the cost of the GPU, the cost of the hardware, and then the electric cost and stuff. For example, what would your strategy be? Because based on my analysis, it looks like it's a good play for those coins that are not listed yet. Like you say, the potential for it to be listed, and then the returns are much higher as compared to listed coins, because then that when it's listed, there's a potential increase in the price, and then of course that's when we can actually get more coins bang for the buck at the moment. Is that, or what do you think in terms of the strategy at the moment?
So to answer this simply, as you know, there's two different graphs when we're talking about coins listed and mined. Yeah. There's a complexity graph and there's a price graph. Mm-hmm. When sometimes these graphs, they kind of intersect, and sometimes it's actually cheaper to buy a coin rather than to mine a coin when it's already been listed, because the complexity is just higher, the electricity consumption is higher, but the price is lower, and it actually would make sense to buy the coin rather than to mine it. But when it's listed, however, at the pre-mine stage, there is no price, and you're just using your hash and you're using your electricity to get at the stage when it's actually going to get a price. So yes, in a sense, those coins that are listed sometimes have a higher complexity because there's a lot of miners involved, and some of them are not pulling out and still believing in that coin. That's why the complexity is still there, but the price is lower and your economics could not, basically break even. But it doesn't mean that, number one, this coin would not grow, and number two, that if you got into the pre-mine stage of this coin, you would actually be making profit, even if it's much more expensive to mine it at the listing stage.
Understand. Thank you. The second question is about utility, because I understand that you are doing a lot of good work in terms of projects. Like I really love the sports project that you just mentioned, and how the HFCW and the water and then building houses and stuff. Like I want to understand the real utility beyond just raising capital, because like of them, like projects coming onto the blockchain, getting on the mining service, like what is the real utility? For example, like Bitcoin, right? In order for them to do verification of transactions, they need miners. So in those cases, how would the blockchain technology help to bring some level of utility beyond, let's say, raising funds for this companies?
Well, I guess number one, it's more about thinking of giving a gateway. Like when we were thinking about sports, one of the things we were thinking, of course, we need to list a coin. We need to, we need to create a layer 2 coin that will actually be introduced into the application to show what a real, like something unique of a blockchain and a token can do. On the other hand, the utility here is we are going to be introducing different mechanics for the coin holders within the blockchain sport idea. For example, you can exchange them and go train with a trainer that's training the player that you're following. You can get, if this is what you're asking, or you're asking something different?
Something similar.
You can get a signature of the guy when he was 12, before he became a superstar, on a t-shirt that he used to play in some small field before he went to the English Premier League. There will be a lot of different mechanics introduced to this. We want to go into the broadcasting. We want to go into the ticketing side of things. We want to go into things that really kind of allow the fans to give these tokens and receive not just monetary reward, but something that will kind of really be memorabilia. This is one of the things that really kind of engage with the fans. I mean, we all know there's merchandising, there's signatures, there's autograph sessions and things like that. But I mean, how many times somebody who's been following, for example, football for 10 years, imagine being on the same field with Ronaldo and like just kicking the ball around, and you've been following the guy for 10 years. I mean, it's just unimaginable for some kids. And I think this is one of the things that we will be also introducing, and it's good that you asked because I didn't touch upon it, that we will be introducing. Because right now we're focusing on the business side of things because we need capital to make this a reality.
Yeah.
The second side of things is, of course, the engagement for the fans, and that's where the utility aspect comes in.
I understand. So it's about shared ownership, right? Economy of shared ownership as well as the utility like membership.
Shared ownership within the price of the player in terms of their development and your belief in that player. And to some extent, an opportunity to manage the team and the academy in the direction they are going. Like I said, you cannot do it with big ones, but you can do it with like with the academy levels and like the lower tiers, because they would actually be more responsive to feedback. They say, okay, these guys are giving us and helping us with money. These guys are really kind of investing in our future. We should really listen to what they want to do. It's kind of like the Twitch, but in real world, you know?
Yeah.
So this is what we're trying to achieve.
Awesome. Thank you. One last question that I have is, because I'm here at the Blockchain Live, and I see a lot of mining machines and companies right here. So I want to ask about the differentiator, like, because for the layman who is coming here, they could be considering whether should I buy my own mining machine, put it at home, plug into my powered socket and then mine it myself, or is it better for me to just go with atom mining or even liquid mining? So what is the competitive advantage, and what would you then recommend? Do it yourself?
I've got asked this so many times. Okay. You can buy your own GPUs, you can buy your rig, but then you need to find somewhere to put it. You need to find a location, you need to get security, you need to have a good roof. There's a lot of things, and you have to keep on going there, checking if everything's working, the rain hasn't dropped on it, the rats didn't eat the wires, a lot of different things. All you do with the app is just click a couple of buttons and you got it. It's just simple as that.
And they buy them cheaper.
yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
This is my thought. So I'm going to put my $4,800 in and buy the rig.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready to go. Set up.
Okay.
So how do I pay for the electricity each month and the upkeep? Does that come out of what I'm earning, or am I making additional contributions once I purchase the rig?
Don't hold me to it in terms of the price of the power batteries, but this is how we're going to do it. First month, electricity durability doesn't come at any price at all. From then on, we have battery packs. They definitely do not represent a major cost element within the whole system, but as you will in real life need to connect it to a socket, we provide battery packs within the application that you can buy in order to top up your rig to make it to keep it working. I mean, if it runs out of battery, your rig would not die; it will still stay there. But in order for it to mine the coin and to continue to provide the hash rate it offers, you would need to buy the electricity, and electricity will be represented here. Right now, it's infinite because it's for the DAISY community, and obviously the first month, like I said, it's free. Later down the line, you would need to buy these power packs. The electricity price is more than affordable. Again, don't hold me to it,
right,
but it's going to be around, I think, like, hold on a second. Let me tell you exactly. Илюх, сколько будет электричество стоить?
Сейчас 11 центов за киловатт, но планируем снизить до 9.
Okay, it's going to be 11 cents per kilowatt, but we're planning to reduce it to 9 cents. So a pretty good deal considering everything happening in the world. And we will be working to reduce that further once we get to new energy sources, to new data centers and everything.
And what's a reasonable expectation of how many kilowatts is used?
1 second. Илюх, сколько, вот смотри, например, ты сказал киловатт, типа 11 центов. Сколько пользуется киловатт жрет?
Пользователь киловатт жрет?
Нет, сколько риг полный, например, жрет киловатт?
Ну, 3060 Ti на месяц, вот 1000 киловатт примерно.
So 3060 Ti, a full rig with all 6 video cards, 1000
киловатт.
It eats up about 1000 kilowatts.
Все зависит от каждой монеты. Разное потребление.
But it depends
Per month,
from.
per day, per what?
It depends. No, per month. That's per month.
Okay.
So, and that depends on each coin. Different coins eat up different amount of electricity because they have different computing power.
I've got a question for you. Okay. So, Yev, one question. What's the total capacity that you guys have in terms of the number of rigs that you can buy? Like, where are people? Because there's some people who are like, I need to buy it right now because I'm gonna. We want to know what is the number that you guys have right now. Do you have a limit?
Сколько у нас есть какой-то вообще предел хэша, который мы продаем? Ну, типа, некоторые люди спрашивают, сколько я могу купить ригов? Я могу там покупать, ну, типа,
Да,
без
у нас есть ограничение суплая, и все это прописано в white paper. Ну, условно, там точно цифра, что ригов по 12 тысяч продаем.
12 тысяч ригов.
В этой коллекции сейчас, да.
In the current collection that's been released, we have 12,000 rigs. So, I mean, that's more than available for everybody. That's number one.
We're a big community.
Yeah.
Once people get it, we're a big community, especially when you explain, you know, if you want to get more coins, but that you might want to buy multiple. So.
And we are confirming that by real equipment, of course, and that's why we're releasing in such amount. But all the details, if people want to get into more details, I'll say right to the camera, you can go to the white paper, it's all there.
Wonderful, thank you.
One more question, if I may. The charity coins, there are three.
Yeah.
One is for water, one is for housing, and one is for kids, I think, in Africa. I can't wrap my head around a charity coin because usually the price comes from trading, but then the person who is selling it is getting the money and the person who is buying is giving the money. How does the charity benefit?
Okay, so the breakdown is simple. Whenever a coin is sold, 75% of it is going to the direct goals of the charity.
Okay.
So like the digging the wells, helping the kids, building computer classes, building houses, helping the orphans. 25% is the administrative cost that is used to run the operation. So does that answer your question?
What was the first percentage?
75%
Okay.
goes to the goal, 25% for administrative cost. So I mean, we need to pay salaries. We need to.
No, that makes sense. But like, if I'm mining the coin, and I will be selling the coin, I will be getting the money, not the charity.
Yes, but I actually
like secondary market basically logic. What's the secondary market logic
right
on
now?
the coin?
We are actually doing this out of our own pocket. So we with the coins, since it's not listed, you cannot buy it. But in terms of when you're going to be actually good question. Вопрос такой, когда есть коин у нас, HCF и так далее, ну вот эти африканские, когда мы сейчас это своими деньгами как бы заходим, ну там роем колодцы и так далее, так далее, так далее, когда монета уже выйдет на листинг, и, например, кто-то ее купил, как самого благотворительность сама получает эти деньги? Потому что кто-то купил, и она получила эти деньги, а монета как бы, ну, просто продалась.
Значит, изначально напечатано 3 миллиона монет.
So initially 3 million coins have been issued.
Эти 3 миллиона монет находятся в фонде.
These 3 million coins are within a fund.
Все остальные монеты будут майниться.
All other coins will be mined.
То есть то, что сейчас в ликвиде начинает майниться, это монеты, которые, скажем так, не относятся к этим 3 миллионам.
So the coins that are being now mined for the liquid mining application, they're not relatable to the fund actually.
То есть люди, которые майнят монеты, будут зарабатывать за счет того, чтобы покупать, продавать эти монеты на бирже.
So the people that are mining these coins are going to be making money by selling and buying these coins on the exchange.
Значит, каким образом будет осуществляться ликвидность и поддержание средств на бирже?
So this is how we're going to actually support the liquidity and the support of the coin on the exchange.
Вокруг нашей благотворительной деятельности собралось большое количество настоящих благотворительных фондов.
There's a lot of charity funds that have we built around our charity coins.
Это фонды, которые с миллионными комьюнити.
These funds have millions and millions of people within the communities.
Это не те, кто дают деньги, это те, кто берут деньги.
Those are not the ones that are giving money, they're actually taking money.
И делают благие дела.
And do good things.
Через такие фонды мы делаем благотворительность. Мы даем им деньги, они строят дома, колодцы и так далее. Мы это делаем не своими руками.
So this is what we do. We give these funds the money and they do the good things around the world, and we do not do this like with our own hands, like we finance the funds to do this.
Когда монета выйдет на биржу,
when the coin will hit listing,
все эти фонды начнут массовый мировой маркетинг и рекламу этого проекта.
All these funds will start a global marketing and promotion of this project.
А это десятки, а может даже и сотни миллионов людей.
And this is tens and maybe even hundreds of millions of people.
Из-за огромного мирового охвата те, кто не внутри сообщества ликвида и те, кто не намайнили, они начнут этими монетами покупать, торговать и инвестировать.
Given of this big promotion that will happen, those people outside of the liquid mining app, they will notice this coin and will start buying and selling the coin.
И, соответственно, эти 3 миллиона монет, которые мы напечатали.
And so these 3 million coins that are in the fund,
мы порциями будем их продавать.
We will sell them in portions.
80% с входящих денег мы будем жертвовать в те фонды, которые нас рекламируют.
And I said 75-25, but actually, 75-25% situation will happen, where 75% will go to the charity actions and 25% will be used for the administrative cost.
И, соответственно, эти фонды начнут гораздо больше делать всяких действий, строить дома, больше колодцев и всего прочего.
And so all these funds, charity funds that we gathered around us, will start to build more houses, will start to do more charity action. Basically, they will have more resources to do more good things.
Наверняка вы слышали, что в Сьерра-Леоне у Леонардо Ди Каприо есть фонд поддержания диких животных.
So we are sure that you heard that Leonardo DiCaprio has a wildlife foundation in Sierra Leone.
С 2008 года, после того, как снял фильм «Кровавый алмаз».
And he actually started this in 2008 after he filmed The Blood Diamond.
Мы с ними уже в активной стадии переговоров, чтобы сделать им четвертую монету поддержания животных.
We're actually in an active stage of communication with that fund in order to make a fourth charity coin. Какое поддержание?
Поддержание диких животных.
For the support of wildlife.
И в Африке.
In Africa.
У нас еще с ними не договорено до конца. Мы не просим от них деньги, мы те, кто будем давать им деньги для фонда.
We haven't actually made the final, signature, but we're not asking them for money. We are the ones that are going to be giving them money to do what they're doing.
За счет, если он согласится, предварительно он хочет уже посмотреть, сделать нам маркетинг.
If he agrees and we sign it on, and preliminarily we're saying again, just give us the promotion, just give us the marketing, give us light.
И мы сейчас очень сильно ищем общих знакомых, чтобы на него каким-то образом повлиять.
And now we're looking for, mutual friends to give a little bit more pressure on Leo, so he actually helps us with this.
Его уже попросил Хабиб Нурмагомедов, они друг друга знают.
Habib, the UFC fighter, he already knows him, and he already starting to ask him, listen, help these guys.
Но мы еще с других сторон ищем контакты. Поэтому, если есть знакомые, кто может попробовать встречаться.
But we start to push him on different sides. So if you guys know anybody,
I got his number right here.
Get him into DAISY then as well.
That's the question.
I will try and. Why will people be wanting to trade the coin when literally I understand that trading will bring the price up, which means that the 3 million coins that are already in the fund will obviously have value all of a sudden because the price is going up. But if people, I assume people would want to trade this coin because they want to give something to the charity as well. By just trading it and bringing the price up, you're not actually giving anything to them.
Yeah, he understood the question.
Understood, okay.
Значит, мы не будем на рынок выкладывать сразу же 3 миллиона монет.
We will not release all 3 million coins straight away.
Yeah.
Значит, майнеры нужны для того, чтобы эта система была стабильной и масштабной.
Miners are required so the system is stable and scalable.
И мы будем мешать монеты, будут майнеры свои монеты выкладывать, и мы будем потихонечку выкладывать.
So how will happen is miners that mine this coin will start to bring them to the exchange, And so will we in small portions also.
Okay.
И, соответственно, на бирже не видно, чьи монеты.
And on the exchange you can see whose coin is whose.
И это будут миксовые продажи.
This will be like a mixed sale.
Такие технологии уже есть.
These technologies are already in place.
Мы в первую очередь хотим, чтобы комьюнити ликвида заработало.
First, our primary goal is for the liquid community to make a profit.
Соответственно, мы им дадим возможность выложить первыми свои ордера.
So obviously we will give the liquid community the opportunity to be first to place their orders.
Потому что мы будем осуществлять дальнейшую благотворительность за счет заработанных средств с продажи NFT.
So since we're going to be making our further charity actions from the monies we raise from selling NFTs.
Потому что на сегодняшний день мы и так уже миллионы долларов туда своих собственных средств вложили.
Because at this point in time we already invested millions of our own USD into these charity operations.
И мы неплохо зарабатываем, поэтому можем себе позволить вкладывать деньги в благотворительность.
And we are making good money in our business as a whole, so we can afford to invest into charity.
Соответственно, мы когда познакомились с Эдуардом, Джереми и Ильей,
So when we met Ilya, Edward and
мы
Jeremy,
видим, как они болеют за свое комьюнити.
we see how they are really like how they are rooting for the community that they have.
И мы знаем проблему с токеном DAISY и аплифтом и с торговлей на криптовалютах.
And we know the issue that there is with DAISY token and Uplift token and with its trading.
И по поводу трейдинга криптовалюты, потому что там отрицательные доходы.
And about trading crypto really, because sometimes it gives you a negative balance.
И мы хотим вот эту ситуацию дать возможность людям все-таки заработать на криптовалюте.
And with this approach, we want to help people actually make money on cryptocurrencies.
Соответственно, проект с Африкой у нас будет много монет выпускаться.
So with the African project, we're going to have many coins being released.
Мы хотим выпустить монету поддержания детей альбиносов.
We want to release a coin with helping the albino kids.
Мы хотим выпустить монету уборки мусора в крупных городах.
We also want to release a coin for the car waste disposal in big cities.
И каждый проект, он будет за счет мирового охвата давать хорошие доходы.
And each project, given the world scale of promotion, will give a good return.
Также мы параллельно запустим блокчейн-спорт, где будем...
Я уже про блокчейн-спорт рассказал. I already told about blockchain sport.
И все эти проекты, ввиду того, что они у нас в управлении,
and given the fact that we manage all of these projects,
мы можем регулировать, скажем так, первым всем майнерам доход в этом бизнесе.
We can regulate the miners' return on these businesses down the line.
И поэтому мы сюда тоже заберем на себя менеджмент аплифта.
So here we will always take over the management of Uplift.
И лаунчпады этих проектов перед выходом на биржу мы будем делать через аплифт, за счет чего токен аплифт должен начать расти.
And we will do the launchpad of this project through Uplift, so that's why we'll make the Uplift coin, the Lift coin, also grow.
Потому что аплифт это тоже вопрос для комьюнити DAISY.
Because Uplift is also a question from the DAISY community.
Ну и нам надо в этом вопросе тоже разобраться, чтобы все было.
And we need to get into the details of this question, so everything works out.
У нас очень большой roadmap впереди, и мы будем все это делать.
We have a huge roadmap ahead, so we're going to be doing all of this.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I think is buying this charity token, they will in essence think that they're actually contributing to the charity.
То есть, по сути, когда кто-то покупает этот токен на благотворительность, все будут думать, что они делают свой вклад в благотворительность.
И при этом получать токен, который также могут перепродавать.
And at the same time get a token that they can resell.
То есть 17 тысяч токенов в мире, которые на сегодняшний день существуют.
So the 17,000 tokens right now present in the world.
Zачем люди их покупают?
I mean, 17,000 different tokens present. Why do people even buy them?
Купить за $1, продать за 10.
In order to buy them for $1 and sell them for $2. Or sell them for 10 rather.
Это спекулятивный токен.
It's a speculative token.
Здесь такой же инструмент.
The instrument here is similar.
И когда люди покупают что-то, они всегда думают, а что за этим проектом стоит.
And when somebody buys something, a coin or a token, they're always thinking, what's behind the project?
То есть они покупают фантики.
Whether do they buy just candy wraps?
И в вкладывают туда миллиарды долларов.
And investing billions of dollars into.
Картинки, обезьянки там.
I mean, pictures, different NFTs or whatever.
И как бы, если они тратят деньги на просто картинки.
And if they're spending money just on some random pictures.
Мы хотим часть этих денег перенаправить на нас, чтобы они при том, что покупают монету, еще делали благие дела.
We want to refocus some of this money onto us. So with buying these pictures and tokens, they're actually doing something good for the world.
Мы делали этот проект, у нас есть уже опыт, мы делали это в Индии.
We already have experience with something like this. We've done a similar project in India.
В Дели, но
In Delhi.
проект был маленький.
But the project was not so big.
Потому что мы были маленькими.
Because we were not so big.
Но $1 миллион мы собрали и отправили благотворителям.
But we we collected $1 million and we actually gave it to the charity.
Сейчас у нас проект в сотни раз масштабнее.
Now the project is 100 times bigger.
Поэтому мы уверены в том, и мы знаем, как здесь заработать.
And we are absolutely certain and know how to make money on this.
И при всем при том, чтобы не было недовольных людей.
And at the same time, keeping everybody happy with this.
So it all coins. We mine the first. We're like the marketers. We mine it. We start developing the attention and the attraction so that when the market comes, they see it and then they do buy it, and then that's where it goes to the charity. That's because we're increasing the cost. Is that kind of?
I'll explain.
Okay.
То есть, по сути, когда они подключаются как майнеры к майнингу этой благотворительной монеты, они, по сути, являются как будто там маркетологами этой истории, привлекают внимание к этому. То есть, когда это все уже запускается на листинге, они были тем, кто помог этому проекту.
Значит, что такое майнинг?
Okay, so what is mining?
Это блокчейн. Это, скажем так, компьютеры, которые обслуживают блокчейн.
It's basically PCs that are servicing a blockchain.
Это как банк.
It's like a bank.
Допустим, если у банка только представительство в одном городе и одна касса, вы вряд ли туда пойдете.
So if the bank has representation only in one city and it only has one cashier, well, it's doubtful you'll go there, to that bank.
Вы пойдете в банк, который представлен по всей стране.
You will definitely go to a bank that has representations around the country.
Точно так же и в майнинге.
It's the same in mining.
Если в проекте один майнер,
If there's only one miner in the project,
то этот проект не вызывает доверия с точки зрения маркетинга, биржи, всего.
there is not so much trust to the project on the marketing side, on the exchange side, and everything.
Потому что если этот майнер отключится, система не будет работать.
Because if that miner disconnects, the system doesn't work.
Соответственно, чем больше майнеров, тем больше доверия.
So the more miners there are, the more trust there is.
В нетворке есть мировые платформы, которые показывают рейтинг проектов.
In the network, there is rating platforms that show the ratings of different projects.
Майнеров там.
How many miners there are?
На каких платформах представлены?
What platforms are they represented on?
Анонимная команда или нет?
Is the team anonymous or not?
И много-много параметров.
Many different parameters.
Когда все эти параметры положительные,
And when all of these parameters are positive,
то мы выходим в топовые позиции рейтинга на майнинговых платформах.
you get to the top ratings positions on different mining platforms.
И за счет большого количества майнеров мы получаем лаунчпад.
And given the large number of miners, that's where the launchpad happens.
И как бы люди подключаются в эти проекты дополнительно майнить, там, продавать.
And additional people get connected to these platforms, start additionally mining it.
У нас очень большой опыт в этом, мы 7 лет в этом бизнесе.
I mean, we have a lot of experience in this, 7 years in the business.
Казалось бы, 7 лет это немного, но весь блокчейн 14 существует.
I mean, given that 7 years is not that much, but the whole blockchain is 14 years strong.
Да, поэтому мы уже старые здесь.
So we're kind of old in this, you know?
We're excited.
Yeah.
We don't know what we don't know, but we're excited.
Говорят, ну мы не все понимаем, но мы очень...
Ничего не понятно, но очень
Очень интересно, да.
Yeah, I've got a question about like how extensive are the data centers around the world? How decentralized is it? Because if you have a data center in a single location, right, there's a single point of failure, right? So I just want to know how extensive in terms of the security, the infrastructure, the systems of the data centers around the world.
Спрашивает по поводу дата-центров по всему миру. Ну, во-первых, сколько их? Потому что он говорит, ну, если один дата-центр, это как проблема. Что-то с ним случилось, все. Да.
Значит, да, мы находимся в России сейчас.
Okay, so right now, ну, большинство или все?
Не, мы как компания.
So right now, we as a company, yes, we are located in Russia.
У нас там 2 собственных.
In Russia, we have 2 own data centers.
Они самые большие.
They're the biggest.
Где мы сейчас делаем граффити на все дата-центры в стиле киберпанк, чтобы...
Это про граффити я говорил.
Окей.
So this is where we do the graffiti. This is where we're going to show you the real capacities.
Вот. И около 5 дата-центров в России, которые у нас в аренде.
And we have another 5 data centers also in Russia that we're renting out.
Но ввиду того, что к России двоякое отношение.
But since there is, well, let's say, not such a good attitude towards Russia right now in the world,
мы очень плотно ищем дата-центры по всему миру.
we are very focused in finding data centers around the world in other locations. Just give them a sip of water.
Maybe Singapore would be a good place.
Он говорит, может быть, Сингапур был бы неплохим местом, но он мне про это тоже рассказывает.
What helps you determine the location that you want to get to?
И, кстати, было бы неплохо еще сказать, что определяет хорошую локацию для вас.
Цена электричества.
Electricity price and security.
Есть два параметра. Мы сейчас,
This is what we talked about.
мы сейчас очень рассматриваем Кению,
So right now we are focusing also on Kenya
потому что в Кении одно из самых дешевых электричеств по всему миру.
because Kenya has one of the cheapest electricities in the world right now.
Также у нас есть дата-центр в Германии.
We have a data center in Germany,
Мы прямо сейчас партнеримся.
and right now we are already finalizing the partnership.
Управляли когда-то его мощностями,
We used to manage his capacities,
но очень выросла электроэнергия в Германии.
but the electricity price went through the roof.
И мы сейчас считаем математику.
Right now we're just basically into the mathematics, considering the economics.
Также мы открываемся в Канаде, в Исландии,
Also, we're going to be opening data centers in Iceland and Canada,
в Казахстане
in Kazakhstan,
и в Индии.
and in India.
И у нас будет децентрализованная система.
And the system will be decentralized.
Но мы не свои дата-центры открываем, мы партнерские сети.
But we're not opening our own data centers, we're building a partnership network.
Вот. Поэтому проблемы с мощностями точно не будет.
So there will definitely be no issues with the capacities.
Сингапур мы рассматривали, но там очень дорогое электричество.
We did consider Singapore, but the electricity is too expensive.
Это с точки зрения технологий крутая страна, но там очень дорого.
I mean, in terms of technology, it's a really good country, but it's very expensive.
One final question, and probably be edited out. No, seriously.
I've heard this several times.
But the longer we go, the more I get, it's always like that. No, cyber attack. I mean, there's a lot of people discussing this, that the electricity goes down, that there will be a cyber attack. Do you see that is even possible, or is that whatever?
You mean cyber attack overall, or like specifically onto us?
No, overall.
Короче, сейчас ходят некоторые такие обсуждения, что может случиться какая-то кибератака, и все электричество по миру вообще вырубится. Как ты считаешь?
Как? Ну, то есть кибератакой невозможно выключить генерирующие электростанции.
I mean, with a cyber attack, it's impossible to switch off what do you call them? The power stations.
Ну, потому что атомные электростанции,
I mean,
электростанции,
nuclear power plants, hydro power plants. I mean, how can you switch them off?
То есть могут быть какие-то атаки на сети интернет.
I mean, there could be some cyber attacks on the internet networks.
То есть, исходя из политических мировых ситуаций,
and given the political situations around the world,
мы не исключаем, что будут попытки каким-то образом ограничить доступ к ряду сервисов.
We do not exclude the possibility that somebody will try to restrict access to certain services.
Но интернет невозможно выключить на сегодняшний день.
But as of today, it's impossible to switch off the internet.
Они могут выключить сервисы, которые внутри интернета находятся.
They can switch off some services within the internet network.
Но под свою экосистему мы все свои сервисы разработали.
But given our ecosystem, we developed our own software. So
то есть у нас свои пулы майнинговые.
We have own mining pools, own miners.
Открываем свою биржу.
We are going to be launching our own exchange.
И как бы мы полностью экосистемный продукт.
I mean, we have thought through in detail the entire ecosystem.
Поэтому мы вперед смотря, все риски стараемся минимизировать.
So by looking ahead and looking forward, we're trying to minimize every possible risk.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yeah, I just wanted like a very quick summary to kind of go full circle all the way when we first started. You know, I was talking about most of the people who are in DAISY are pretty unsophisticated, and we have I mean, who'd have thought 2 years ago 190,000 people would be trading in Forex, and now we have 190,000 people trading in Forex and making money. Now we have an opportunity to be mining. You know, most people out there in the world are not mining, are not even thinking about mining, they're not here. But now what you're representing for us is a doorway for the regular man, the regular woman to come and participate in something that's usually reserved for the very few, the very wealthy, the very intellectual. And so we appreciate that opportunity. For those who are listening, who are in DAISY, we've just heard a lot of information. I understood about this much of it. Don't worry, you're the same as us here. It's the great thing that these guys have done is put together a nice shallow gradient. In fact, you talked about kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4. It's a great way for the average person in DAISY to participate. And you can, don't worry, just at the beginning, we'll learn. You talked about there's going to be a couple of calls to explain the basics, right? Exactly. And so we appreciate that. We're really excited to participate in that. And as I say, there's 190,000 of us. Some will, some won't. But the point is, it's accessible for us on a nice, simple, shallow gradient. And we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Surely.
Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
I understand.
Okay, good.